Welcome to the Den, the Dark Entertainment Network. I'm the Gothic Rose, and this is the dark tale of the day. Yes, dear fiends of the Den, the Dark Entertainment Network is a channel where the news meets conspiracy theories. It makes babies in my brain and it comes out my mouth. We explore the darkest stories from the deepest corners of Hollywood and the world. If you like this sort of entertainment, be sure to like, follow, and hit that bell because I am not going to stop. We are back, dear fiends of the den, and I am dedicating Fridays to a new segment I'm calling Fantasy Fridays, where I am taking some old Hollywood stories and writing some fictional stuff about them with AI. So I'm mixing old and new, I'm conceptualizing and writing these things together. And today I am giving you a story, a fictional story about the very infamous Velvet No of Hollywood. If you haven't heard, the Velvet No was a very covert, well, it's a group of women. They never expressed who they were whispered about. She wasn't a single person. She didn't have a name in the trades or a star on the Walk of Fame. The Velvet No is a nickname passed down in studio lore describing a type of woman who operated behind the scenes during the Golden Age from the 1920s through the 1960s, but particularly the 20s through the 50s. They started to peter out in the 60s. And she was the one who could shut down scandals with a smile, recruit a reporter with a compliment, or make a problem go away without ever raising her voice. Now, the question is, was she real? Were these women real? And there's no official record of a single Velvet No. But multiple studio insiders, especially women in publicity, casting, or executive assistant roles, fit the mold. Think of her as a composite archetype, a chaperone who arranged last minute European vacations for a pregnant starlet, a secretary who intercepted love letters between closeted actors and quietly burned them, a publicist assistant who knew which columnist to call and which one to bribe. She was the soft power behind the studio's hard machinery, often working in tandem with male fixers like Eddie Mannix or Howard Strickling, but with a gentler touch. Where they used threats or bribes, she used charm, discretion, and impeccable timing. The Velvet No archetype likely existed from the early 1920s through the decline of the studio system in the 1960s. As studios lost control over their stars and the press became more independent, their roles faded or evolved into modern day crisis PR and celebrity wrangling. Now, no one ever officially found out who the Velvet No was. This group of women, these women were never named in memoirs, they were never named in exposés, but their presence is felt in the gaps, those moments where scandals should have exploded but didn't. And some believe that there were several women over the decades who wore this mantle, each trained by the last in a sisterhood of silence, if you will. So, if you are interested, let's keep going with my fictional story. Picture it, a Hollywood film noir short, The Velvet No, 1927. So the talkies are coming, and with them, the death of silence on screen and off. Starlina Vale is the face of the decade. Porcelain skin, scandalous eyes, and a laugh that could sell out a theater. But behind the shimmer, Lena is unraveling. A secret affair with a married studio head, a pregnancy that could end her career, and a blackmailer who knows too much. Enter Miss Evangeline Knox, only known in whispers as the Velvet No. She doesn't carry a badge or a gun. She carries a compact mirror, a fountain pen, and a Rolodex of favors owed. Her job? make the problem disappear without leaving fingerprints. But this time, the problem has a name. The problem has a heartbeat. As Evangeline navigates studio politics, gossip columnists, and a fixer with mob ties, she begins to question the machine she's helped maintain because Lena Vale isn't just another starlet. She's someone Evangeline once loved before the studio rewrote both of their stories. To the palms like last night's secrets, and Evangeline Knox stood at the edge of the Paramount lot watching a starlet sob into her gloves. You'll go to Paris. They'll say you had a nervous spell, Evangeline murmured, smoothing the woman's lapel with surgical precision. In 6 weeks, you'll return, tanned, thin, and heartbreak proof. The girl nodded, lips trembling. Her name was Lena Vale, star of Silk and Vice, object of every male gaze west of the Mississippi. Pregnant, unmarried, ruined if anyone found out. I don't want it to go away, Lena whispered. I want to keep it. I want to keep him. Evangeline blinked once. There it was, the defiance, the need to be real in a place made of illusion. Then we'll rewrite the ending, she said. And this is what they did. See, Evangeline and Lena were also involved in a bit of an affair before Lena got involved with the studio head. So, Lena wanted to keep her baby. What happened was Evangeline came up with a plan. She lit a cigarette with her silver lighter and then said, someone has to disappear. It either has to be Lena or the man who made the mistake of leaving evidence behind. Well, they knew that they could not get away with murdering the executive of a movie studio. So they devised an even more devious plan. So, within days, Lena Vale's face was on every newspaper. Tragic loss. Starlet perishes in fire at Seaside Villa. The studios issued its condolences. So did the president. Candles flickered across Sunset Boulevard. But Evangeline Knox stood on the edge of a Montana orchard, coat still smelling faintly of studio ash, and watched Lena laugh in the distance, barefoot, and everything finally real. A child clinging to her hips. His curls were the color of gossip. The fire had been real. So was the bracelet left behind in the wreckage. So was the body, already cold, a stand-in actress whose tragedy would never be written. Evangeline had called in every favor, spun every lie, burned every bridge, and paved with good contracts. She said goodbye to the dream machine. I don't miss it, Lena said, pulling her close under the cottonwood trees. Not the lights, not the lies, just the lipstick sometimes. Evangeline kissed her knuckles where the studios once made her wear diamonds. We'll find new colors. And somewhere in a locked-off back Hollywood desk drawer held an unsigned memo marked Knowledge of Death question. Do not investigate. So, as Evangeline and Lena believed that they got their happy ending, someone was realizing that the body was not that of Lena's, and were looking into finding these two women. Come back next week, same den time, same den channel, and find out if the police have discovered that the body in the studio was not the body of Lena Hale. If you have any stories you'd like to share or would like to be a guest in the den, please email me at welcometothedenpodcast@gmail.com. Must be 21 and over. And if you like dark, creepy stories as much as I do here in the den, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And as always, thank you for joining me here at the Dark Entertainment Network.